welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about FODMAPs and IBS. Now, this is going to be my personal journey with IBS as I am not a medical professional. I may do credentialing for medical professionals, but I personally am not one. So, since we're talking today about IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, it may get a little TMI at times. Mainly right now, during my backstory. So if you have a sensitive stomach, if you just don't like hearing about stomach things, wink, wink, I recommend you looking into the description down below and grabbing that time that you can fast forward to so you can get to the meat and potatoes. Are they gone? Okay, so you want to hear about my backstory with IBS? Well, it is a combination of IBS and GERD, aka acid reflux. My whole life has basically been ruled by these things ever since I was a baby. When I was a little tiny baby, I not only would vomit all the time, and my mom breastfed me for like 2 years, but I also wouldn't poop. Like, I just wouldn't poop. I wouldn't poop, guys. So, thankfully, I was way too young to remember this, but my mother used to take suppositories and stick them up my behind to make me. Yeah, it was great, right? Thankfully, too young to remember. I do remember my childhood of vomiting, like, every day, though. So that's not great. But really, as a child, like, I had a lot of flatulence, like I farted all the time, but I didn't really think that, like, that was too much of an issue. Like, yeah, people got annoyed by it, and grossed out by it, but, like, that didn't become an issue until, like, I was interested in a romantical sense with people's. Really, I just didn't want to vomit on myself. And then, when I became a teenager, my diet was so terrible. Oh, man. I just am thinking about the monster that I am currently drinking and how I used to drink them all the time as a teenager, too. Oh, apparently not that much has changed. But yeah, my diet was so terrible as a teenager that I didn't poop again. Yeah, just didn't do it. But once a month I would have a decent one. I wonder what that lined up with. Yeah, periods were great. I also looked like I was about 3 months pregnant all the time. Yeah. Because, as the gastroenterologist told me when I was a teenager, I am full of poop. Yeah. So, thankfully, I have made lifestyle changes as an adult, and not only am I more active, but I've changed up my diet. I've tried things like going vegan and gluten-free and stuff, and I did see benefits from it, but really I'm not that strict currently until the FODMAPs. But I didn't really see an issue, with what I was eating until I started thinking about things like, the Swolnormous elimination diet, or even the Chloe Ting and how she gets bloated after eating things. And I started trying to make relations between what I was eating and how my body reacts. And maybe I should start cutting out those things that have negative reactions. And maybe I can, get to a day to where I don't fart, except for, like, special occasions. That'd be great. And not to be bloated. That would also be great. But I feel like those two are hand in hand, So, with this in mind, when I was looking up some pre- and post-workout snacks, one of the first ones I came across was apples and peanut butter. Who doesn't love them? I sure love me Granny Smith with some chunky natural peanut butter slapped on top. Oh boy, it's real yummy. I'm actually getting a little hungry right now. Why am I saying actually so much? It's like I actually am using actual filler words to actually fill up time or something, or actually. So, when I was thinking about, whenever I eat apples, they're great until they hit my stomach, and then I just get all this pain. Why is that? I wonder. So I went to the Google, yes, the Google, and I just typed in, why do apples hurt my stomach? And you know what? One of the first articles that popped up was from Monash University, and they talked about this thing called FODMAPs, and how people who suffer from stomach issues, gastrointestinal issues, such as IBS, see great benefits in using these FODMAP diet restrictions. And I don't like the whole concept of diet restrictions. I've had my whole issue with eating disorders and stuff like that. I don't like to tell myself no, because that's usually what I want. And it's just not going to help anybody then. But I was willing to check it out a little bit. And after doing my research, yeah, I'm doing this. So why is this so fascinating? Well, maybe we should learn a little bit about FODMAPs now, shouldn't we? Well, what the heck what is that word? What are you saying there? Huh? I'm asking myself, because, yeah. FODMAPs is an acronym, so it's FODMAP. And I'm gonna butcher what it actually means, pronunciation wise. Yeah. So FODMAP stands for fermentable oligosaccharides, disaccharides, monosaccharides, and polyols, which are short-chain carbs that the small intestine absorbs poorly. What does that mean? Well, Monash University put it simply that these short-chain carbohydrates, aka sugars, just aren't absorbed properly in the gut, which can trigger symptoms in IBS. Oh, cool. I feel like you practically said the same thing. So why does it trigger? Why is it so bad? What happens? Well, settle down there. Basically, one of the more common relations with IBS, I feel like, is the diarrhea. And don't worry, we're not getting into super grossness or anything like that. But when your food's moving through your intestines, apparently they are osmosisly active. Oh boy, I suck at pronunciation. Pronouncing things is hard. But basically, when these foods are moving through your stomach, your gut is saying, we need water. Bring us water. Where's the water? And all this excess water, because the food's moving extra slow because your body just can't absorb it properly, can cause the rush of fluids out of your body. Get my drift? Now, obviously, that part hasn't really been the issue with me. My issue more resides in what happens when the food just sits there waiting for all the bacteria to break it down. As it's sitting there waiting for the bacteria to break it down, it's fermenting. What happens when something ferments? It creates gas. Where does this gas go? It's trapped in your body. So it creates the bloat and the flatulence. But apparently this bacteria that eats the food in your stomach also creates gas. So basically, you're not only farting your farts, you're farting these bugs' farts. What? It's like endless amounts of farts. What? Yes, I'm calm. So that's cool. We know why they trigger, but what the heck triggers it? Well, there are all these short-chain carbohydrates. Oh gosh, I'm going to have to look real far at my notes for this. One of them is fructose. So not only like high fructose corn syrup, but like fruits and vegetables, apparently. It's great. Some of my favorite fruits, actually, I can't have. At least, I can start to try to introduce small amounts, but, like, I'm not supposed to have cherries, mangoes, peaches, plums, watermelon, nectarines. What the heck? Kiwi, I also discovered that, like, I was allergic to kiwi. Not only are they, like, high FODMAP, but, allergic. It's great. One of my favorite foods, and I ate that thing until I couldn't eat it anymore. Alright, also, I think the whole reason why, like, when I went gluten-free and vegan, why I had such amazing, like, gut health, is because, so lactose is one of them, and fructans, which apparently is just a fancy thing of what gluten has in it that I can't digest. So it's not, I guess, the gluten itself that causes an issue, but the fructans that compose the gluten, my stomach can't digest. And then galactans, ooh, it sounds cool. It means it's just fancy for what's in legumes, aka beans. You know, beans, the musical fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot, the better you feel, so eat beans for every meal. My great-grandfather would say that all the time. My Nana still just says it. We have a few of, like, those sort of sayings that are real fun. She has one that, like, I'm not going to say on here. I don't know it. And also there's swearing, and I'm trying to make this, like, family-friendly. All right. So the lactase. What? So the last thing that are on the list of things that I need to avoid are polyols. Oh, recognize that? It's the P in FODMAP. Those are sugar alcohols. So that, like, things that say, like, sorbitol, those cause issues. And, like, the classic way that they want you to approach this whole, like, diet restriction thing is doing an elimination type diet of just cutting them out completely. Like, no FODMAPs whatsoever. And then slowly introducing things with FODMAPs in it and seeing how much your body can take, if any, and things like that. There's also little tricks like I'm supposed to have fruit with food. So don't eat fruit by itself because there's too much fructose in it. My body can't digest it well, so it sits there and creates more issues. I don't understand it. These are tips that I've heard. I'm not really doing it the classic way. It's been tough. I tried to, like, eliminate like, more strictly things from my diet, and it's a lot tougher than it looks like, and I'm not digging that. I'm just going to slowly try to cut down on FODMAPs, especially FODMAPs that I can, correlate to negative bodily reactions. So, the gluten thing's pretty obvious. Even the lactose thing, like the other week, I had dark chocolate, which was okay, but it had caramel in it. And because of that, like, the tiniest bit of caramel, too, and I was running to the bathroom. Like, I never really have had those classic IBS symptoms, but because my body's not constantly irritated anymore, those little irritations I'm noticing. And so my body now is like, freaks out whenever I have it. But I'd rather, live with a non-irritated body and risk those moments than constantly irritating my body and then just not noticing it anymore. So, I really hope that, like, in a year's time or something, I can really come to you guys with, like, a follow-up of, like, FODMAPs, IBS, and my journey, because it's really in the early stages now. If you want more daily like, day-to-day updates, that sort of thing, even recipe ideas, go and follow me on social media. I've left the links down below, but really I'm most active on Instagram. Next would be Facebook, and I check Twitter like once a month, really. But I really would like to hear, what you think about this information. Have you maybe introduced FODMAPs FODMAP restriction into your diet, why, and how has your body reacted to it? Are you going to stick to it? Do you see the benefits of it? Has anybody had a negative, time with, doing this diet restriction thing when they have had IBS? I would love to hear about it all. Leave it down below in the comments if you feel like it. If if it's a little bit more personal, please hit me up on social media. Again, the links are down below. I'm pretty responsive. I don't have that many followers, so I'll answer you. Hey! But again, just in case you didn't catch it in the very beginning, I'm not a medical professional. Do not take this as medical advice. This is information I looked up on the internet. You could look up on the internet as well. But this is my personal journey, my information that I'm just trying to share my journey on here. Hopefully there'll be more videos on the YouTube. I feel like a big fat Jarrett Watts or Drew Monson right now, and those guys really aren't fat, especially, well, neither of them are really fat, honestly. They're a little chub. But I mean, I suck at posting on a regular schedule. Hopefully I get better with that. I hope you guys have found this information slightly helpful, maybe entertaining, or whatever. Leave a like, leave a dislike. It's all interactions from what I'm told. Doesn't matter or something? I don't know. But you guys have a wonderful day. I'm just gonna awkwardly leave now. Bye.